What's up, guys? Look, most of you know, if you know me, I'm not a developer. I don't write code for a living. Well, I used to not write code, but now I manage agents who write code. About a year ago, I had this crazy theory. What if I just used AI to build my website, move us off of Webflow, have more capabilities, have agentic coding at the foundation of what we're able to do on our site? And man, it works and it's crazy. And it's super fun because I get to test a lot of new stuff on our site, test it out for our clients, and I get to demo it for you right now. So look, it's absurd. And now you're going to see how I manage it. And I'm going to tell you everything about my entire stack. And we're going to actually make some changes live and see if it works. But before we do that, before I just start clicking around and showing you the tools and doing the dorky stuff, I want to tell you that Prometheus, we help clients with AI and tech. We come alongside them as a transformation partner so that they can use these same tools just as powerfully as we do. So if you're interested in what that looks like for you or your business, book a call with me below. Would love a chance to get to meet you and learn about your unique business problems and where AI could help transform your business. Before I start clicking around, let me explain the core tools, because individually they're just applications or things on their own. But look, this is the system that lets me run my entire website, plug into modern technology, and get a lot of muscle, I think, without actually having to pay for really intense software engineering. So first, GitHub. And if you're like me, from a non-technical background, you're not exactly sure what GitHub is. But basically, it's where all of my coding files live on the web. So it's kind of like Google Drive, but specifically designed for code. So every time I make an update to my website, it gets pushed to GitHub. The pages, the styles, some of the memory even, and README files, it's all stored here. It's not just a folder structure. It tracks every single change. So if I actually do something, which might even happen on this video, that messes things up, I can go back. And now all of a sudden we're back to a real live page that worked previously, even though we might have just recently broken something. It also allows me and my team to work together on the site. That's where forks and branches and things like that come into play. And the tier that I'm on is free. So that's a plus. Second, and this is one that if you're in the agentic coding space, you've probably heard of. And if not, you might be kind of curious. It's called Cursor. And Cursor is the tool that I use to work in for any agentic building that I'm doing, not just from our website, but also for all of our clients. It's a code editor and it looks like a text editor at times, but it actually has real agentic motions inside of it. And what makes it different is that AI is fully integrated into it, and I can just type or talk, and then the agents go in and do the work and helps me actually push the code to GitHub to change it so that the site can be live and everything that we design and build both technically and from a user experience perspective can function for the objectives and the foundation that I'm hoping to have for it. The base plan of Cursor is pretty cheap. It's like $20 a month. I'm on a little bit of a higher tier, so I get access to better models, but it's a great tool for doing most any type of agentic work with agentic coding tools. And you'll see here just how simply I can use it for managing my website. Tool 3 is Netlify, and Netlify is basically what puts my website on the internet. It's a hosting platform, and it's where I also put some secret environment variables to do specific things for the site that I don't want anyone to have access to. And it actually watches my GitHub repository. So that anytime I actually push things to GitHub, Netlify basically picks those things up and pushes it live. So I don't manually upload files. I don't do anything. I don't call anyone. I just talk to Cursor. Cursor pushes it to GitHub. GitHub then is integrated with Netlify in a way where Netlify says, oh, I see some changes. Now I'm going to push that live to the domain that I have set up, which is PrometheusAgency.co. It's basically free, it's very cheap, and there's other benefits to it that in future videos I'll make sure to update you on. The fourth part of my website stack is Supabase. Supabase is the database. For practical purposes, it's kind of my CMS or my content management solution. It's where literal text is stored and different tables for insights pages or my images or videos or things like that I want to post on my website. And so you could call it a very fancy spreadsheet, but really it's a database of all of my content and the things that I want to put on the website. So when we actually talk to Cursor here in a second, Cursor manages all of these things for me with agents and knows how to call into those things in a way to make those changes specific. So I talk to Cursor and those three systems work together to have a website that's live, that functions like I want to hopefully drive business and produce content that's useful for my clients. So let's get into it. Let's start with something really simple, and then maybe we'll build out some more complex things that are fun and we can see go be pushed live in front of your very eyes. Okay, so you're seeing Cursor. And first, one of the key things that I just want to point out to you is that what you'll see here is that this is just sort of a chat window, very similar to like what you would experience in a different coding tool. Over here, this is actually my file structure of my website. It's currently on my computer locally so I can make quick changes. And then when we make any updates, it will push things to my live website. So Growth Architect is what I called it. And that's the actual name of the project in GitHub. But we'll make changes here with the AI agent itself. The other cool feature, at times if you need to, you can actually see a real live terminal if sometimes you need to work back and forth, just depending on the changes that you're going to make technically. And then the third thing is that one of the new features of Cursors is that you actually can have multiple agents running at a time on the file structure that you're working in. So you'll see here actually, even earlier today, I was working on various things across SEO or new tools that I want to build on my website. And so I was actually building those things in parallel before actually going and pushing those things live. Here's my live website, and I actually have Netlify up here just in case if we need to go to it. But one thing that's interesting is that you'll see this is my homepage that's doing fairly decent for branded terms and SEO. And I think thus far has done a decent job of showing things about like booking calls with me directly. And I'm currently playing with trying to push people into some of the tools that we've invested in agentically and are trying to see if we can get traction there and what's useful for my clientele. Candidly, this silly little, call it an AI GIF that I created with Gemini's image platform, giving it our little Titan Pro Mark and seeing if it could create something interesting, has been up for about 45 days. And honestly, I just kind of want a new hero banner. And that's what we're going to do pretty simply right here in Cursor. So what you can see here is that I'm actually using Claude's version of Opus 4.6 here to code. And let's just start. Let's put it in plan mode, actually, just for a second, just so that it can get the appropriate context that it needs. And let's go from there. Hey, I think that the title and description and the hero image on my website is a little stale. We've been thinking about pushing transformation more and being a transformation partner with our clients. I sort of think we could have a bit of more professionality in our hero image on our homepage. I don't really want to make many changes to the homepage because it seems to be working for organic search, but would love a fresh new approach to the hero banner on my website. What do you think? So that was me using Whisperflow to actually type in the prompt, and let's see what Cursor comes up with. While it's pending, I do like to begin in planning mode for most of my changes. That way that in Cursor, again, it has all of the context of the files over here on the right-hand side. Based on the prompt and the discussion that I'm having with it, it'll go in and pull in the right content from those details, assess things correctly, and then take sort of an ambiguous question and come back with an approach. And I'm expecting it to come back with some questions to help refine the prompt before it puts a plan in place and we're able to see it go live. So here we go. Here's the first question. For the visual layout, which direction appeals to you? Keep the 2-column layout, full width hero. Let's go with a bold modern agency look just to sort of see what can happen. For the hero image media itself, what are you thinking? I have or will provide. Generate a new professional hero image for me. Let's do that. Let's see how far this can go, right? This is fun. Continue. So we've been in plan mode. We've come back and you can see now, I'm going to switch back to agent. But look, what Cursor did with the Opus 4.6 model is it came back with a full plan and what it was going to build. Generate a new hero background image. It's got sort of my brand colors already built into its foundation. That's stuff that I've already built into the details of my website. Restructure the hero section. This makes sense to me. Came up with some new copy. We engineered transformation. I kind of like it. Let's go with it. Performance preservation. Update the link, preload, blah, blah, blah. SEO title description alignment. Keeping the SEO title description alignment the same. Perfect. Trust signal, files modified. One thing that I do want to say, maybe that I'll just add in here really quickly, is just one piece. I have noticed in the past that sometimes when I make changes on my website in particular, it doesn't translate to mobile well. So I just want to add that requirement in. Thanks for this. This plan is great. I'm concerned though, because in the past, when we've made changes to the hero it has not fully rendered correctly on mobile, can you just make sure that that's part of the requirement for the build, that it's both desktop and mobile designed? So I added in that one little change. You can see that it's thought for about maybe 60 more seconds. Added in some specific mobile responsiveness and requirements details here on the left. Makes sense. This is perfect. And it updated the plan document markdown file over here and added actually an additional to do for it to go and build. You saw my site previously and what the hero image was. Again, I'm going to flex back here for just a second. This hero banner up here at the top is what we're changing. We've got a plan for it. It's 234. Let's build. All right. So you're seeing now the changes that have been made. If you remember previously in our markdown file, these things had not been completed. And so it's giving me a good little summary of what was changed. All these details over here, what was not touched. Awesome. Let's check it out. Let's see what happened. All right. So if you remember previously, we had my little Titan and the design's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of this stuff over here on the right-hand side. It'll be fine for now, I think. The biggest issue is that this second call to action over here is completely whited out. So, and I honestly would like to see these stats maybe a little bit bigger. And yeah, let's make some quick changes. But first, let's test these links. Make sure that those actually work, that they go to the correct landing pages, which they do. Goes to the about page. Thank you. I like these changes. As you can see here, the secondary call to action is all white as opposed to being able to actually see the text. Can you tweak this? Also, the 3 bullets below the call to action, I'm not a huge fan of those. Is there anything else you'd recommend adding? Curious to get your thoughts, or we could just remove them. So the key here is that iterating back and forth, added a screenshot, also add one more tweak that I'm sort of curious on. So the model's going to think, and it's going to come back with hopefully some proposed changes, make some quick tweaks, and then we're done. Now the key here is this, is that obviously I'm recording this video for you all, but this could be something that, hey, I feed it, I go back, work on some other work, client work, other specific things, maybe have multiple agents going up at a time that's working on this for me. In this instance, you can sort of see how like it's doing a pretty decent amount of autonomous work on the back end, making some changes for me without me actually needing to handle it. And I can just check back in to view the updated changes. So you can see here the issue for the trust strip. Honestly, I lean towards removing them. I'm down with that. Let me fix the button. Let's push these. All right. So now we've made these changes. Actually, you're seeing my configuration here in Netlify. So those changes are being built. Should be pretty quick. Now we're all updated. So look, that was just one use case and was kind of a warm up, but I'm going to make future videos where I show you more things that I'm wanting to build on my website as an example for how you can use Cursor with agentic coding tools to build lots of things for your organization. Look, with this setup, I'm basically treating it like a live document that an agent can run with me and for me. So we've refined our positioning, homepage, creative content. It's very minimal. And the cost is essentially like what you would pay for a typical CMS. I mean, I think I pay around $50 a month for this entire setup. But look, I use Cursor across all of my work. That's a fantastic scale for what you're able to do with true agentic-based building. And the other key thing is that this connects directly into who I am as an agency and how I want to serve my clients. So look, you see my website stack, Cursor, GitHub, Netlify, Supabase. There's other tools embedded into the website that in a future video, I'll show you what those look like and how you can continue to think about your own website or future efforts in your organization that could look this way. Look, if you're a business owner and you're curious about how to implement AI, stop overpaying for website management or overpaying a team to manage an old WordPress site. Leverage agentic tools to build for you so that you can serve your customers better and you can build in real time while managing the rest of your business. Look, this is the kind of things that we do at Prometheus. We build these things, we set them up for our clients, and then we help you learn how to use them. So I hope this video is helpful. And if you're curious again about how to set this up for yourself, book a call with me in the link below and let's get chatting. Thank you.